Hello, hello. Happy Friday. Hope everybody's doing good today. Yeah, okay, so I have this scheduled for like 2:30 or something, but I'm running out of spoons because I showered and I've been working and doing some research this morning. So thought I would just get this over with. If I get people in, great. If not, replay crew rocks. Please remember to like, subscribe if you're not. Look, there's me. Hi, YouTube. I'm a real person. um, so today we're going to talk about emotional regulation because in the poll you wanted some peopling things. And emotional regulation is something that we're not taught. So we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about 3 steps on how to recognize what's going on. And hey, Nicole B, hi, baby. To recognize your emotions, how to deal with them, process them. And then I have a really cute donkey video at the end. So bear with me just a second and we'll get this show on the road. Hello. Thanks for joining me, especially since I'm not on a schedule. Evil Queen Yaya, hey baby. Teresa, Okie Crime News. So good to see you guys. And Nighthoven became a YouTube member. Welcome, honey. I will play you. Welcome. With grandma hugs. Welcome. Thank you. Welcome. Alrighty. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of dink around here for a little bit because I'm still getting used to the new layout on StreamYard. I'm going to read this to you because if you remember in my last live, I was talking about gun violence, most recently in Minnesota. And, what can we do about that? I don't have an answer for it. Most people don't. But I did find this, and this goes along with emotional regulation. Because if you remember, I said, I think a lot of it boils down to mental health. So it says teaching people how to regulate their emotions is crime prevention. It's suicide prevention. It's generational healing. It's how we stop raising adults who explode, implode, or shut down at the first sign of discomfort. Emotional regulation is not just a soft skill, it's survival. It's the foundation of a society where people can disagree without dehumanizing each other, where accountability isn't seen as an attack, and where conflict doesn't always have to mean violence. You want a better world? Start with emotional education. And that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about it. Okay, so emotional regulations. How many emotions do you think there are? 9,000? 22? Well, bear with me just a second. I had to restart my phone so I could read chat. But according to psychologist Paul Ekman, in the 1970s, he labeled 6 and/or 9 basic human emotions that are universally recognized across all cultures, primarily through facial expressions. Things like smiles, frowns, when you squint up your forehead, that kind of thing. And those are happiness, sadness, fear, disgust, anger, surprise, and then later he added contempt, shame, pride, and embarrassment. Holy cow. So then fast forward in time, and not yet. Fast forward in time, and the UC Berkeley researchers Alan S. Cohen and Dr. Keltner study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences came up with 27 emotions. Hi, Spudler. How are you, baby? 27 emotions. Oh, it's getting complicated. Admiration, adoration, aesthetic appreciation, amusement, anger, anxiety, awe, awkwardness. Those are just the A's. Boredom, calmness, confusion, craving, disgust, empathic pain, entrancement, envy, excitement, fear, horror, interest, joy, nostalgia, pride, relief, romance, sadness, satisfaction, sexual desire, surprise, sympathy, and triumph. I don't know why they didn't go past the alphabet of T, but check this out. And I'm going to drop the link here for you in just a second. But this is a website. Let me get rid of me. This is a website for them. And this is actually an interactive, what is it called? It's an interactive website that has some videos that evoke emotions. So for instance, if I wanted to look at disgust, I would click on it. There's anger. And my stuff is not responding. Come on. Sorry, I played with this earlier. And it's really amazing because if I can get it to work, here we go. Let's try this. Nope. Anyway, so maybe you can get it to work because my funky old computer is like, no, how about no? But this will show you videos like arachnophobia here with fear. Can you see that? So I'll show you a video, and then it actually walks you through. If I can get it just to click onto anything. Anything. And it's just not working. Oh, well, stop sharing. Bye. But it walks you through fear and how to process that. So the 27 emotions that they came up with. Hooray, hooray. Now, we usually boil our emotions down into 2. I feel good or I feel bad. And while there's regulations of good positive emotions as well, and we're not really going to deal with that today. We're going to focus on the negative emotions because the negative emotions are the ones that cause the most harm. in our lives, in other people's lives. And I think my internet was being weird. Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to go back to that website, but anyway, so we're gonna focus on the negative and the hurtful emotions. Have you ever seen these comments? I'm so angry. My blood pressure is exploding. So I've seen these too. Things like, pull up your big girl panties, or grow up. So I am going to share with you ChatGPT. What does it mean to tell an adult to grow up? Let's see what he says. No. Stay logged out. Everyone is complaining about internet. Yeah. And I've got some tinfoil hat things on that, but this is not the stream. Okay. So telling an adult to grow up is typically a critical or a dismissive remark implying that the person is acting immaturely, irresponsibly, or childishly. Behavior that the speaker believes is inappropriate for their age. Now, depending on the context, it can mean stop being overly emotional or dramatic. Example, you're overreacting like a child. And that brings to mind like kids in the store aisles, laying on the floor, kicking and screaming. Yeah, you're overreacting like a child. 2, take responsibility. For example, you need to handle your problems like an adult. 3, be more considerate or respectful. Example, you're being selfish or thoughtless. 4, stop avoiding reality. Example, you're pretending problems don't exist or refusing to face consequences. Let me see if I can make this better. Bigger. Okay, here we go. There we go. Tone and impact. Blunt or hurtful. It's often used in frustration or anger and can come across as condescending or insulting. And it's rarely constructive. Unless it's part of a larger, respectful conversation about someone's behavior, it usually escalates conflict rather than resolving it. So if you want to encourage maturity or responsibility in someone, it's usually more effective to speak directly about the behavior that concerns you rather than using a dismissive phrase like grow up. What do you think about that? Yeah, that's about right. So now most people learn their emotional regulations from their parents. Unless you're in certain type of therapy, like cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, or if you take advanced classes in university or college, then they might go into the emotional regulation and that sort of thing. Microphone. Yes, hello. Hello. Oh, there we go. God, Satina's gotta go. Love you, Okie. See you later. I don't know where I left off here, but basically, we're not taught emotional regulation unless you take something like CBT, where it teaches you how to recognize and how to work through. Most people learn their emotional regulation from their parents or the adults in their lives. And for instance, how do your parents treat the waitress at a restaurant, or I don't know, the cashier, or another adult, their own family members, or maybe their partners? So the first thing is self-awareness. It's basically, I'm having some feels. What are they? We need to label them, identify them. Yours were tough. Yeah. And we can talk about that because, and I've seen this a lot because so many people have gone through trauma and abuse and really dysfunctional lives that they feel like they have to have this hard exterior so that nobody takes advantage of them anymore, so that they're not abused anymore. Oops, sorry. And so they have this tough exterior where they're not going to take shit from anybody. You know what I mean? So that's where we get most of our emotional regulation. Because if our parents treat the waitress like she's, their household staff or servant, and there's a lot of disrespect going on, there's no checking of, try to get rid of me, just have that. Okay, there we go. Then kids think, oh, that's the way I'm supposed to treat people. Sorry, I had to take a drink. It's not the do unto others as you would have them do unto you kind of thing. Because nobody wants to be treated poorly. Nobody wants to be talked to like they're an idiot or like there's some sort of inconvenience. But our kids are seeing this. So once again, and we are going to, I actually have the link for this. This is a feelings wheel. We've gone over this before. Grandma's going to go over it again and again. Okay. But this helps you, and you can download it on your phone so you can look at it or whatever. But it helps you to identify what you're feeling. And step 2, why? So I might be feeling angry. Let's do this one. Angry. Now I'm angry about something because why? Am I let down? Do I feel like somebody let me down somehow? Am I humiliated, embarrassed? Am I bitter over something? Am I mad? A friend of mine's mom was totally cute, and she used to say, "Are you mad?" Meaning, are you crazy? Not angry. Are you feeling aggressive? Are you frustrated? Are you feeling distant? Were you critical? What is that negative feeling within you? And then you can go even farther down. Dismissive. Do you feel like they're being dismissive of you? Are you skeptical about what's being said? Are you feeling numb? Have you withdrawn from the situation? Infuriated, hostile, provoked, jealous, furious, violated, indignant, ridiculed, disrespected, resentful, betrayed? There's all kinds of things on here that will let you figure out why. Why am I feeling that way? Oftentimes, if you can't label what you're feeling and why you're feeling it, we end up doing coping mechanisms. Coping mechanisms like self-harm, cutting, overeating, binge watching, drinking, drugs, overspending, going live on YouTube to respond or react. There's a ton. What are some that you can think of that might be a coping mechanism? I know for a long time, napping was mine. Just get away, just sleep, forget about it under the covers. So why am I feeling this way? Well, for me, personally, I had a major meltdown. That's what actually led to my autism diagnosis, is because it was a major meltdown. It was nuclear. It was Chernobyl in my emotions, and I didn't know what was going on. You could sleep for days to block out the sadness. I know, sweetheart. Because I went to seek help, to seek therapy, like I said, that led to my diagnosis over months and months. I found out that I'm change averse, change adverse. I don't like things to be different. I like a consistency. I like routine. I like to know what's coming. I don't like the unknown, because me and my tinfoil hats, I'm going to catastrophize everything. It's all going to end up in a burning dystopia. Oh, good. You can speak on it. Yeah, me too. I'm actually at a place in my healing and in my journey that I feel stronger. Hey, Soup, how are you, honey? So, me was what ifs. It's always a what if. What if I say the wrong thing? What if I make a fool of myself? What if I say it the wrong way? All that kind of thing. So that's what actually led me to be enrolled in cognitive behavioral therapy. And in that, they teach you these 3 steps. The number 1, to have self-awareness, to label your emotions. Thanks. It's my shadow bunny. To label your emotions. What am I feeling? And then to dig even deeper. Why? Now, I'm just going to run a disclaimer here, okay, that I'm not a licensed professional. I'm learning these things, and I'm just presenting them to you guys so that you can, if it's interesting, it's something you want to look into. There's all kinds of videos on YouTube. You might want to reach out to BetterHelp or some online therapy, or find a local therapist or whatever. But there's too much stress in the world. There are very few, very rare people, few and far between, that can actually be exposed to negativity and hate and violence and just let it roll off their back. Because most people get involved. We get our feelings involved. Yes, control of your thoughts, feelings, and behavior. I highly recommend CBT. Cognitive behavioral therapy, not the stuff that comes in gas station gummies. But the thing is that if you recognize it, and a lot of people are not going to be self-aware enough, they're not even going to try it. Okay, they like the way they are. They're just going to continue on until they run headlong into some wall, some social wall, where they're going to have to change. And that usually affects their pocketbook, is when people are willing to change. But here's the thing. We go into something, and here's the fancy term. You know me, I'm a nerd. Talk nerdy to me. Cognitive reappraisal. How to handle the feels productively. So, why am I feeling this way? A cognitive reappraisal is basically reframing your thoughts so that they're not attacking you, so that your thoughts are not weapons that you're using against yourself. Okay. Like I said, we're just dealing with the negative stuff today. But if you get kind of overwhelmed, you can deal with some of the happy stuff too. But if you're feeling sad, are you hurt? Are you depressed? Are you feeling guilty? Is it despair? Is it vulnerable, lonely? Name what it is. And then try to reframe those thoughts. You can turn the hopeless, helpless feeling into, I can try this. I think I can do this. Instead of, I can't handle this. It's too much. It's overwhelming. Change it. Change it. Think of it this way. Whatever you're going through right now, it's going to pass. This too shall pass. Think of it. Is this going to be something? Is this going to matter to me in my dying moments? I am. How are you, sweetheart? Oh, it's making you emotional just remembering that time. It helped you so much, and you are a different person because of it. You have to retrain your brain. Exactly. And I know a lot of people deal with stress and anxiety, and we're overdosing on cortisol and dopamine. But is this thing right now going to matter? Like if my house collapsed, if a tornado hit me, or I was in a horrible car accident right after this live, are the things that I'm feeling right now, are they going to mean anything then? Think about this. Is this something I can change? How about this one? Do I need to involve a group of people, like going live on YouTube? Or is it best handled one-on-one? Try to flip the feeling to remove any personal implications. If you can step back and look at the situation as if you are a friend. You know that I love it when people put, but what about this, asking for a friend? You know, look at it as though this was affecting a friend and not you personally. Can you step away from that and see if it's someone else's problems? You have the 10-minute rule. Oh, okay. If I'm likely to have forgotten this in 10 years, then it isn't worth going nuclear over. Yes, amen. Amen. Kind of like me, I have a 1-year rule on almost everything in my life. If I haven't used it or worn it in a year, it's out of here. Because otherwise I would hoard things like it was the Great Depression. Something to remember is to be gentle with yourself. It all starts there. If you're wrong, admit to being wrong. Admit to yourself first. Oh, damn, I was wrong about that. Use it as a lesson to grow and change. Nobody's going to line you up against a wall and shoot you because you were wrong about something. It's okay to admit it. And the great thing about that is the more you admit stuff, the more vulnerable you are to yourself, the more transparent you are, the less burden there is. Here's another hint. And I got this one from Grain. It's called Practice the Pause. Just don't react right now. Don't go nuclear. Don't explode. You don't have to give anybody an answer. You could do the whole talk to the hand and walk away thing. Absolutely works. Practice the pause until the overwhelming feeling has subsided. Now I'm going to be honest with you. In cases like the church shooting in Minnesota, that was not an immediate overwhelm. That person had these feelings over a period of time and planned them out. Yes, it can take days. It can take days. And you know what a great response to somebody is? I need to process this. I need to think about it. That's one of my autistic drawbacks, is that, sometimes I'm witty and just, bam, I'm on the thing and I'm saying something cute. And then sometimes I look back on it and regret saying it. And other times I really have to digest and think about what's been said and how am I feeling about that? What's the appropriate response? Here's some regulation techniques you've heard of. Breath work, box breathing. And it doesn't matter which one you use. 4 in, hold for 4, let it out for 4. Whatever. Breathing, deep breathing techniques. Walk away. If it's going to require a discussion, take notes. That's what I do. I call it the shitty first draft. When I'm angry, I write out all the things. Like, I'm sending an email. You low down scallywag duty head, blah, whatever. I'm not in a foul cussing mood today. Singing makes you breathe quick out and slow, and it makes you feel calmer. That's great. So, if that's the case, if it does require discussion later on, do the angry notes, do the shitty first draft, let yourself cool down, reread it, rewrite it. This helps you avoid saying this or acting in a way that you may hurt and not help the situation and regret it later. Writing. I love writing. Talking to a trusted person who supports you. Be your therapist, be your friend, be a family member. It could be a helpline. Somebody that's going to be honest with you and provide a different perspective. Because honestly, if I'm laser focused on, totally disrespected me and they're lying and yada, 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 I'm not looking at it from a helpful perspective. Online forums. One of the things I love about Reddit is the AITA, am I the asshole thread. You go on Reddit, you're totally anonymous. You can type in there, am I the asshole because this is happening? And then you get different perspectives. Of course, you get some trolls and people that are not helpful and snarky. But, if there's all kinds of ways for you to put words to your emotions and help you dissipate them, help you handle them. Here's one, progressive relaxation. When you're angry or you're frustrated or you're hurt, you could feel tension in your body, in your neck, in your shoulders. Sometimes your head hurts, your back hurts. Your husband, when he's talking to you. Progressive relaxation is when you focus on your body. You can sit down, you can lay down, whatever. Just get to a quiet place real quick. And then focus on your toes. Make them feel relaxed. Move up to your feet, the soles of your feet, the top of your feet, your ankles. Move up to your calves, your thighs. your hips. Each time recognizing, is it tight? Does it hurt? And release that. Breathe into it. Make it relax. And the last point is to take care of yourself physically. Are you hangry? You might be having the feel right now because you haven't eaten and you are hangry. Are you properly hydrated? I know I get dizzy and weird when I'm getting dehydrated. Did you get enough sleep? Are you maybe running sleep deprived or not at all? Is it PMS? Or is it menopause? Yeah, I don't call it menopause. I call it menopause because you go insane during menopause. The wisdom to know the difference. You know, Alcoholics Anonymous and other 12-step programs use a prayer of serenity. Me and my geekness, okay? People attribute this to St. Francis, prayer of serenity. But it wasn't written by him, but it was written by a guy named Reinhold Niebuhr. Reinhold Niebuhr. But this is it. Let me get rid of that. Bing. And there, let me get rid of that. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. You can't be the savior of everything. Some things are you just going to have to, figure out how to get along with it. Do it. Grant me the courage to change the things that I can. And the wisdom to know the difference. Because otherwise you'll just be beating yourself up all the time. That's what I had to say about emotional regulation. I did pin a comment at the top. It's kind of a fun thing. Cope. Replace every vowel in your name with OOB. Oob. So my name is Grandma Chube Rube. I'm Grandma Chube Rube. Something dingus. Fun to do. Mm-hmm. Accepting things that are out of your control is a very difficult thing to do for anyone. It is. It is. Oh, girl, you clean the house? Cleaning is my zen space anyway. I love to clean. Oh, yes, I love to clean. But anyway, so let me share some silly things with you. Ready? I love this.
Ready? What are you doing over there?
Hang on. This says that the woman gives the donkey a new chicken toy. So I hope you can hear this.
Come on. I got you a new chicken. It's from Brian from Wisconsin. Hi. We gotta look at him. Let me pat you first here. And I gotta show you. It's a pig leg parrot. He put a tattoo on its neck. It's so cute. Goodness. Okay.
He wants it so bad. Give it to me.
Very good. Can you laugh?
It's too cute. I can't.
That's a good one in there.
Is that a Sicilian donkey? Oh my God. Oh. Yeah, that's from @puberty on Instagram. Oh, September is Suicide Awareness Month. Wanted to remind you guys about that. And I'm kind of proud of myself because I found a local walk. It's called Out of the Darkness Walk. So I signed up. I can't really walk per se, but I'm doing a fundraiser for them. Let me get rid of me. Nope, wrong. Clicking the wrong thing. Okay. So all donations for this thing go directly to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. These are the guys that run the helpline, the 988 and whatnot. And if I raise $150, I get an official walk t-shirt. And I have offered to volunteer for signups and things on the day of the walk, which is October 4th. So join me in supporting the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. I am joining hundreds of thousands of people across the country who are walking in the Out of the Darkness community walks to prevent suicide and support AFSP's mission to save lives and bring hope to those affected by suicide. Please help me reach my goal by clicking the donate button on this page. All donations are 100% tax deductible and benefit the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, funding research, education, advocacy, and support for those affected by suicide. So I actually have the link in the video description, and I'm going to drop it here in the chat. There it is. So if you guys can, you know what? If you click on that, you can actually find hello. You can find an event near you if you want to go out and show some support. There are companies probably local to you that have teams, and it should be interesting. So I'm going to actually do kind of B-roll while I'm out there and share it with you guys. But as always, as ever, there are helplines. Always, always, always. In my video descriptions, in my About section, there are hyperlinks there. So you can come in, click on it. It'll take you directly to the site that you need help with. It could be something like, if you know somebody who's in the LGBTQIA plus community that needs help, or a veteran that needs help, or a teenager, I actually have a link for helplines and crisis interventions for places outside the United States. So please just remember, you're not alone. And kindness is free. Okay? It's free. If you want to be treated that way, if you want to be treated with kindness, if you want to be considered with respect, it has to go both ways. And the thing is that A kind word, a gentle word, often turns away wrath. And it's the hardest thing in the world, but it's got to start with you. It's got to start with me, with each one of us. I love y'all so much. My outro. Bye. Replay crew, welcome in, welcome in. Remember to like, share it if you can, and put a comment underneath here, because I'm so far out of the algorithm, I think that the 3-eye atlas is probably closer than I am. Love you guys.